at feeling great.
A very warm welcome to all our viewers to yet another fresh episode of Light of Knowledge. Today we are going to take up a brand new series called Incredible Youth. I am Shalini and we are privileged to have with us on sets today Brahma Kumaris Sister KREENA. Welcome, sister.
Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
She has been giving her dedicated services to Brahma Kumaris for over 30 years. She's also been a motivational speaker. She's been into meditation and seminars and conferences. And today, coincidentally, sister,
Yes.
we are going to be talking about youth. And what I know is that you have been a part of a rally in 1985, which was also the International Youth Year from Mumbai to Delhi.
Yes.
So, can you tell our viewers a little bit about that?
Sure, I'm so happy to share this with all of you all, as it was a wonderful incident that has happened with me.
Okay.
As moving and going into that march for about 2.5 months till we reached Delhi. And it was not only we who went from Mumbai, but there were about 13 different marches from Nepal, from Dibrugarh, Assam, from Indore, from Chennai, and from so many other places. And this march has brought a transformational change in my life.
Really?
I'll tell you what really happened. I discovered myself.
Oh, that's lovely. That is like the best thing that can happen to you, actually.
Yes. Because in Indian culture, a few years from now, what has happened is that we have never thought about ourselves. Maybe there were few youth
Yes.
who really had that in them, inborn.
Right.
And they were self-made from their childhood onwards. But majority of us were really obedient to the parents, and whatever the
Yes.
parents thought about us, that is what we would do.
Yes.
And they would not force us if we were not, intending to do anything. And we were not clear about our own selves also.
Right.
For example, if I would like drawing, I would do drawing for some time. And if I like music, I would go into music for some time.
Yeah, that's
And,
so true.
That's
Yes.
so true, no? And I would like swimming, I would go for swimming. But exactly what am I for?
Right.
That was not really clear. But when I went in this march, so many abilities, skills, talents within me, which were uncovered. I'm not saying that the opportunities were not given to me.
Yes.
But there are certain fears, there are certain insecurities,
Right.
there are certain doubts about yourself.
Yes.
You don't trust yourself,
Right.
and so you don't open up.
Exactly.
But when this opportunity came to me, unknowingly, I started opening up.
That's beautiful.
Yes. And that made my decision for life very, very easy.
Exactly. That's what I was coming to. That sister, there's a beautiful quotation by Franz Kafka, and he says that the youth is happy because they can see the beauty in everything.
Yes.
And obviously a person who has the ability to see beauty in everything can never grow old.
Definitely.
But surprisingly, you would agree with me that the youth today seem to be very confused. A lot of them very talented, but yet very perplexed as well. We have a group of youth, youngsters, who are actually trying to seek something very outwardly, because it's become a very materialistic world.
Yes.
So, either like going out with friends, partying, shopping, just acquiring something or the other all the time. And there's another group who are very much into spirituality, who like attending spiritual camps, they go to spiritual organizations. So what do you think, what is missing? What are they seeking?
See, life is getting very complex.
Absolutely.
And youth basically are creative.
Yes.
And for creativity, one needs freedom.
Yes.
Right? And you're seeing that the youth who are very limited to just their family, just to their own family businesses and, family affairs, now they have come out of that.
Yes.
It's like coming out of just one well in which you were just living your life there.
Yeah.
Now they're turning towards the ocean. They want to reach the world.
Right.
Right? Now with these aspirations in them, if you're not getting that freedom, if your
Yes.
creativity is unable to work,
It's a major blockage then.
especially because of politics,
Yes.
especially because of, people not wanting their ways
Yeah.
and they only want their own ways.
Yes.
So what happens is when they face these realities, naturally what's going to happen? They're going to get perplexed.
Right. And, thinking of that, you would agree that when we were young, I was young, we didn't have so many options then. We had very few options in terms of everything, like how things are available for us today. But even then, somewhere, everything is available to them. But they still seem to be looking for something. Hence, I feel there's been a huge increase in malls, everything outwardly, which again makes us think that there's definitely some vacuum inside. So since, as you said, that spirituality helped you to really transform and know yourself, so what would you say to the youth?
The youth is seeking for strength.
Absolutely, yes.
Youth is seeking for inner stability.
Yes.
Youth is seeking for that inner trust. They are seeking for somebody who has trust in them.
Yeah.
Because they want to give their best.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So I think they are just seeking something from within rather than something from outside. Yeah.
Because anything from outside actually cannot, so to say, fulfill you for a very long time. It's very
temporary. And they are
temporary.
realizing that now.
Yes.
Because they're getting opportunities and they're taking it up.
Right.
They're not sitting in their homes. They're taking it up. They want to start life at a very young age.
Yes.
Which earlier would not happen. But now they're really starting life at a very young age. They want to earn. They want to, make their life very early. They want to enjoy all the pleasures of the life that are going to come to them.
But sister, coming to that, don't you think that if at a very young age, you try to achieve a lot, or you try to know a lot, which is happening with the youth today, you lose that beauty, which I just said, that the youth can see the beauty in everything. But today I feel the youth is running somewhere and they are not being able to appreciate the little things of life, which we as youngsters did. So how important is it to be wanting, because we live in a society where there are a lot of expectations and demands, but to also move at my own pace if I feel like.
The system doesn't allow them to do so. See, anybody would like to lead a life in their own way.
Right.
But it is the systems, it is the way the whole society is built up, that comes in the way of the youth. And earlier, there was a lot of harmony between the parents and the children.
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah, it's one of the very fundamental reasons where if there is not a harmonious relationship between parents and children, those children, when they grow up, life becomes very difficult for them.
Very dysfunctional.
And they don't really understand themselves. They're not realizing that it's because of this that I'm facing so many problems in life. Till somebody opens their eyes, and even the eyes of their parents.
Right.
Isn't it?
It is very true. But sister, again coming back to your life, you have been with the Brahma Kumaris for more than 30 years and you started at a very young age, so your foundation is very strong. And youth, again, are supposed to be the foundation of the society.
Absolutely.
So, but still a lot of them hesitate to come towards spirituality because they, the images of monks in saffron robes, or probably, they feel that you would become very docile and you would become very passive. So what do you have to say about that? Embracing spirituality, actually.
See, true spiritual organizations will never force them to make their lives like a saint. True
Right.
spiritual organizations will motivate the youth, will encourage the youth to reach their goals, but with values,
Right.
with principles, with inner strength, so that at the time when they achieve their results, they're happy.
Yes, when you actually
smile.
experience that transformation, and which is very healthy for you, that is when you start really embracing something. And if something is just forced on you, like, a lot of times we think, just like there are a lot of rituals which youth don't agree with. But
Absolutely.
it's just because it's become a part of the family or the society. They are there, but they are mentally not present.
Yeah, they're now trying to find meanings.
Yes,
they'd ask questions. Even children ask questions directly to their parents.
Yes.
Why should we light a lamp? Why should we go to a temple?
Right.
Why should I bow down to this person who is coming to our house as a saint?
Exactly.
What's the reason? Tell me the reason and I will do it.
Right. So they are no longer ready to, they don't just accept anything that you tell them. And coming to acceptance again, sister, another aspect of youth which we see is they seek a lot of approval and acceptance from, just like you said, that the relationship between children and parents are no longer as smooth as they used to be. And we seem to have called that generation gap, but it is actually a lack of communication between the two. And in that, what happens is that the youth is not able to express themselves openly with their family members, with their seniors at home. So they go ahead and try to get that approval from their friends and their peer group. So that can actually not always be healthy. What do you think about that?
See, what is the role of parents? The role of parents when they give birth to children is like a role of God.
Right.
You have to nurture the soul that has just received a new body.
Right.
And then you have to give them the right environment. You have to help them to discover themselves, to understand themselves better, so that when you leave them to life, to the entire world, they are ready.
Right.
And they are not dependent upon you. At the same time, they are so grateful to you for what they have done for you.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
And children, when they grow up with this feeling, they become leaders.
Yes, they do. Yeah, exactly.
So the parents need to actually give birth to leaders, nurture leaders.
Right.
And prepare leaders for the world.
Right. Because I've also noticed that for a child, like you said, parents are always right. And for the child, whatever image is created for the child by the parents, the child really believes that to be true.
Absolutely.
And in that case, if the child is not given the right kind of input, or is ridiculed, or sometimes even not getting the right kind of acceptance, because the youth seem to be having totally different ways as to how they want to go about things, and the parent has a totally different perspective. This is again a very deep belief system that I am right and you are wrong, I am big and you are small. So how can we actually have a harmony so that this communication between the youth and the parents, we can bridge the gap actually?
I think one of the bases of this big difference is education and the information technology, which some years back was not so much there. But now every child is exposed to that.
A lot of information. Yes.
So now compare the child of about 15 to 20 years back.
Yes.
And now see the child of today.
Yes.
Even before the parents try to tell the child anything, the child already knows about it.
Right.
From any of the sources. So the child is no more ignorant what the parents feel that they are.
Right. But at the same time, what I believe is, aren't the parents pushing the children away by constantly telling them that, look, what you are eating is wrong, where you want to go is wrong, what you want to watch is wrong.
The do's and don'ts.
The do's and don'ts.
You have to do this and you don't have to do
that. Exactly. And that pushes the youth towards becoming more rebellious, because we are seeing the
Absolutely.
youth becoming very rebellious as well. Nevertheless, the intention of the parents are always right. Coming back to the foundation of the youth, how do you think spirituality can strengthen the foundation?
Spirituality gives you a certain set of information which is only related to your self-development. It has no connection with any customs and systems and, cultures.
Mm-hmm.
It is directly related to the self.
Okay.
So when you get focused on the self, and then through the method of meditation,
Mm-hmm.
when you ponder deeply,
Right.
what happens is the powers, the values, the virtues, the qualities that
Already
are lying within
yes.
you, that are dormant, they
Yes.
start emerging.
Right.
And then when they start emerging, you start changing.
And that is when we can have leaders, like you said.
Absolutely. You're a
Society.
leader of your own life, not necessary you have to stand for some country or for some society.
Right.
You are standing for your own life.
Exactly.
And
Because
such youth are required.
right, because even power or leadership, we seem to be relating to that more with, like everything outside, whereas I am totally out of control.
Absolutely. You're not a leader yourself, and you're just wanting to have some leadership, over certain people.
Yes.
Or a certain organization.
Right. Sister, we also know that you are very good with management and self, and with the youth, I think they really need to manage themselves.
Yes.
So I think we can actually incorporate all this with spirituality in helping them to become more self-empowered, so to say.
Let me just clarify this word spirituality.
Right.
Okay? Because still many listening to us may think that we are talking about religion.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah? Spirituality are two words, spirit and actuality.
Yes.
To know the actuality of the spirit.
Right.
Is spirituality.
That I am a soul.
Yes, but in
That's
that way,
reality.
the spirit. See, you say that you're very highly spirited, or your spirits are very low today.
Right. Yes.
Right? So when the youth is facing a lot of objections, a lot of obstacles, a lot of complications, then the soul, the spirit is lower.
Is low.
So when you go along with your actuality, your spirits are always high.
Yes.
It's like a flame which is well lighted.
Yes.
We want to see each youth like a flame which is well lighted.
Yes.
And the oil that we are going to go on placing in the lamp
is the light of knowledge.
Is the light of knowledge.
Exactly. And it was amazing, sister. I think we've tried to, in a very short while, we've tried to cover a lot of subjects which we can take up later as well.
Yes.
As in majorly the communication gap, and also the youth seeking something outside constantly, whether it's in objects or in relationships or in spiritual camps. But there is definitely some vacuum, some emptiness somewhere. And we are, of course, this initiative is actually, the series rather, is about how the light of knowledge can help you to stop seeking, because you seek something where, when it's dark, and when there's light, you actually
stop seeking.
You stop seeking.
You just experience it thereafter.
Exactly. So,
we want life to be experienced,
Yes.
Instead of just seeking in darkness.
Right.
Let us experience every second in our life.
Right.
And if we don't do it in the youth,
then when? Exactly. Because youth is a time for so many, like they say, they are so curious, and at the same time, there's amazing bundle of energy, which, like you said, that if you're not using it in the right sense, then your spirit tends to be low. And if you are aligned with your inner being, then your spirits tend to go high. The youth is constantly seeking something. which also means that there is a lack of maybe purpose. But what I'm really confused here is because even when I was young and, in my earlier days, I thought that my goal, that is reaching somewhere, is my purpose. And I'm going to be happy when I reach there. And I eventually landed up always postponing my happiness because I thought, okay, when I'm going to be there, I'm going to be happy. But spirituality teaches us something totally different. Could you clarify on that?
Yeah, sure. I think it's a very important question. And every youth would like to know the difference between a purpose and a goal. And I think most of them are running after goals.
Yes.
Which is not wrong. You need a goal in life.
Right.
Now, whether it's one goal or 10 goals.
Right. Because you need to hone your skills, your talents, right?
Absolutely. And they give results.
Yes.
But with goals, if you're not happy at the end of it, if you're not satisfied, there's no contentment, that means something somewhere is missing.
Yes, and that creates that vacuum, that emptiness somewhere. Yeah.
So that fire which is required is purpose.
Right.
Goals are external. Purpose is completely internal.
Internal. Right.
Purpose is something which may be connected with value. It may be connected with your intention.
Right.
It may be connected with your own sanctity from within.
True. Wonderful. Actually, sister, this thought just came to me right now that you spoke about high-spirited and being low-spirited. So goal is external, but if you are high-spirited and you take care of yourself while moving towards the goal, the contentment is so natural then.
So natural. And it's not at the end of the result. It will be along the path.
Yes.
That means you are walking with or on your purpose.
Exactly.
It's like that tightrope.
Exactly.
On which the person at a very great height is walking with great confidence.
And is so aware and is taking care of the emotional and the mental needs as well. That was really inspiring, sister. Thank you so much for your talk today. And we are looking forward to the series being very interesting. We are going to come up with a lot more for the youth.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Well, today's episode was a really inspiring one, wasn't it? We knew that, yes, we are seeking something, and somewhere we got confused that the purpose of life and the goal of life are the same thing. The goal is external, whereas the intention or the purpose is very much internal. And if we could balance both, we could have a really fulfilled life. On that note, I would end today's episode. Thank you so much. If you want to write to us or want to call us, please be free to do that. Om Shanti.